Today we're going to take a real quick look at a bushcraft knife from Boker. This is the Boker Tracker. Kind of stole the name and the concept, I'm guessing, from the Tom Brown Tracker. This one doesn't have the saw blade on top of it like the Tom Brown Tracker does, though. But we're going to go over some positives and some negatives about this. We'll start with the handle. The handle is micarta grips. They are kind of slick, but when they're wet or your hands get sweaty, they're actually more grippy than when they're dry. So that's a pretty cool 50-50 on that. It's got a little lanyard hole here, so you can put your lanyard on it. The blade is 5 inches long. If you go all the way back to the handle, it's just a hair over 5 inches long, but from this cutting tip to this cutting tip, it is 5 inches. Now, you'll notice, like I said, it's got the tracker style cut of the blade. I like it for some things. I don't like it for others. Now, this little nook right here is great for making feather sticks. Probably the most outstanding feature of this knife is its feather stick making. If you're going to baton with it, you're going to want to keep your wood, the wood that you're batoning, no bigger than from here to this angle cut right here. Out of transparency, I will say this is the second one that I've had. I tried to baton a bigger piece of wood with my last one, and I broke it. Now, this is 1095 steel. It is very sharp right out of the box. Comes with this really nice sheath, and you can set this to go horizontal or vertical on your belt, so that's pretty cool. Ranking this with other bushcraft knives on it, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being lowest, 10 being the best, I would say this is a 6. It's a decent knife, but it's a very just meh nice. There's nothing outstanding about it. You can do a little bit of everything. I'm not a huge fan of this blade design. I like a bushcraft knife that's just a more traditional style. This one here, there's a lot going on, but it's not really, there's a whole lot of nothing going on. Now, I wouldn't say don't buy it. I've used it. It's a good knife, very functional. It makes feather sticks better than anything I've got. I do wish this was a little more undercut right here, just in case you had to get stabby with it so your hand wouldn't slip up on the blade right there. If you want to do fine work, I've noticed that you can do it, but you kind of choke up on the blade a little bit. Like if you were tanning hides and trimming hides and stuff like that. You can skin with this, but I have a lot better luck skinning small game with a smaller knife and big game with a more traditional blade. Just a real quick comparison. This is a Frost Cutlery Flying Falcon. This knife right here, I would give a 3 out of 10. So if I was going to be stuck out in the middle of nowhere with a knife, I would much rather have the Boker Tracker. It's just a full tang blade, made a good 1095 steel. It does have its compromises, but it's a decent knife. So, to go over the good, the sheath, excellent sheath. The blade metal, I'm a fan of 1095. The grip handles, when they're dry, not a fan, but if they're sweaty or you get your hands wet, they become really grippy. That's pretty cool. I like that it has the lanyard hole, and it is a useful blade, but it's just not as useful to me as a more traditional style blade. So that's it. The Boker Tracker, and they're not that expensive. They are useful. If you're looking for a knife, this might work for you, and you might really like it. To me, it's just kind of middle of the road. Thanks for watching.